Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the presentation. I appreciate everybody's attendance. I am Derek Sprouse. I'm the president of the Fremont Rotary Club. I want to start by thanking everybody for attending this evening. I know it's time out of everybody's life, and I appreciate everybody taking that time to hear the exciting news we're going to share this evening. So we're going to have several speakers tonight. I'm going to start just by going ahead talking a little bit about Fremont Rotary Club to make everybody familiar with what we do. A lot of things we do are visible, and you see that out in the community. Great example would be our Blues, Brews, and Brats event. We have in downtown Fremont every year. Very well attended. We had great attendance this year. So that's something you see out there, but we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes too. So we just wanted to talk about a few of those things while we're here. Great examples are Rotary scholarships. We do a Student of the Month program within all the schools and have a meeting each month where we recognize those students, and then they have the ability to enter in and qualify for a scholarship to the Rotary. We also do a Rotary four-way test contest. Again, students have an opportunity to earn some money towards college and win a prize for that test. And also just various different community programs that we sponsor. You can see Roger out there ringing the bell. We had a super successful couple years ringing the bell for Salvation Army. We do that every Christmas season. And then also within the schools, we do the mentoring programs. We try to touch kids in multiple phases of their school career. So we also have a literacy program. You can see where we go in and read to the students, and that's been much better when we're able to be there, but we still were able to do it through COVID virtually. So something we're really proud of, and the kids really look forward to seeing new faces when we come in and read the books. So, again, the Blues, Brews, and Brats is a concert we host every year downtown. That's been a large fundraiser for us. And working towards our Centennial project, that's going to continue to be a fundraiser for that. So we appreciate everybody's support. We had a super successful year. Sponsorships were fantastic, and the attendance was great, and everybody had a great time. So that's always a good thing as well. So wanted to next introduce our next speaker. I'm going to ask Rotarian Hal Hawk to come forward. Hal is the chair of the Centennial Committee, and he's going to share some more news with you guys.
Thanks, Derek. And again, welcome everybody, and thank you again for coming out for this evening. It's amazing what free food and booze does. We've thrown these parties before, and they typically work out pretty well. From a historical perspective, let me tell you how we got here today. This started really back at our 90th anniversary when Doug Breck was president. And we started thinking about what we were going to do for our 100th. Because from a history standpoint, we go back to essentially 1926 when our club was founded. And we always did something kind of grand at our anniversaries. Something that was memorable, something that would be lasting. So I'll just share with you a few of those things that we've done since then. If we go back to our 25th anniversary, so essentially 1951, Rotary was instrumental in working with Camp Ukita and Campfire Girls and securing the property and getting that program going and keeping it going. We go back to the 50th, Louis Ganziger helped raise funds and helped coordinate the flood wall. Okay, so that brought us into about 1976 from that time frame. When we look at our 75th, one of our large projects was Rails to Trails. Extremely successful project with the bike trails and things. And if you've not been on it, I'm sure many of you have, even if you walked it. It's been a tremendous addition to our community, to the families and just outdoors and things like that. It's been extremely successful. So with Doug at our 90th anniversary, we said, okay, what are we going to think about doing for our 100th anniversary coming up in 2026? The initial discussion was, well, we're going to let's raise $100,000 to symbolize 100 years. So everybody thought, oh, that's great, $100,000, we can do $10,000 a year for that. And all of a sudden we got into this thing and said, that's just not enough. Okay, we have to do something more than that. Rails to Trails, we did, 40, 50, 60,000 to get there, so we thought we would add to this thing. And it turns out, in talking with Andy Brown from the Sandusky County Parks District, we ended up holding our meetings down at River Cliff. We were talking with the mayor and and everybody at the city about the Jackson Street Annex and trying to get rid of that because it's been an eyesore. It was just starting to come together with these other projects. And we were fortunate enough really to find ourselves at 2026 is when our official anniversary is going to be. We decided to raise $500,000 minimum and do both projects. So our goal is to begin to work on that. We're well on our way to doing that. And ironically, this month's Rotary magazine that I have here, and I'll just share quickly with you, is for November of 2021, the title of the magazine is Come Together. And that's really what these projects are about, is coming together as a community. Because it benefits Sandusky County Parks Districts, which people use the parks. If you go back to the successful 590 project that Andy quarterback was incredible. Take a look at now downtown, what's happening with the farmers market, and bring people down there. It's incredible. And this amphitheater that we're going to be working on, I think, only after that. So that's kind of the backstory and how that got going. So again, two goals, or two projects, one goal. Rotary theme, or Rotary motto is again service above self, and we're working in that direction. Now understand that again, while Rotary is kind of facilitating this, we're not owners of these projects, we're not going to be owners of the project. The Sandusky County Parks will own their program, Fremont City will own the amphitheater. We're simply going to be the facilitators and the fundraisers to try to get this over the finish line over the next several years. So we're working well with the city, working well with the park districts, and as I say, we're well on our way to doing that. So that's a little bit there. You'll hear some more about fundraising and things like that. And I'll simply close. I think everybody knows Bill Baker, and one of his great lines is, the more you pay, the better you're going to feel. So my note to you today is the more you give to these projects, the better you're going to feel. So think about that when you leave here. Okay? There's no gift too large for us to accept. So when you see me coming, just know what the heck I'm going to be asking for. Roger and I are going to tag team this, and we're going to get it over the finish line for both projects. So thank you again for attending, and now I'll introduce Danny Sanchez. Danny.
Hal, thank you. You stole my line. I came in a little early, and I was talking to Roger and Josh, and I said, man, I got this great line. I heard Hal say, the more you pay, the better you feel. So we laid that out there. This project, we started talking about this, I don't know, I think Amphitheater has been talking about the city prior to my election for the last 10, 15, 20 years. The city of Fremont, I was sharing with our auditor just before this, as we were sitting here with everyone in the room tonight. In less than 1 year, the city purchased the Jackson Annex. Think about that. That thing's been dilapidated downtown Fremont for 30 years. I think it was acquired 30 years ago. So in less than 1 year, the city, myself, the auditor, we made the decision that we wanted to strike a deal to purchase this property and tear it down. And we wanted to make it green space. And in less than 1 year, we're here tonight. I don't think we expected to be here that soon. What you're seeing tonight has been the work of a lot of people in this room over the last year, a lot of planning. So this has come to fruition. 3 years ago, we wrote our Fremont Economic Development Plan. Part of our plan was to improve our parks and our community, because we understand the impact that that has on the economic development in the city. It's not just the industry, that's a little bit of everything. We understand the attraction of new people coming in, the retention of the people that we have here. We also knew that we had a lot of momentum in downtown Fremont. We have our downtown director here, Kristen Wheeler, here tonight, who I saw her in. A lot of the work that she's doing, there's just a lot of energy inside the city of Fremont. The other thing we know is that everything's possible, right? I remember talking to Art Bucci last night, and we were talking about the Kiwanis project, and some of the Kiwanis folks. He said, hey, when someone had a dream of that all-inclusive playground, like, we're not going to do this. This is how they're going to pull this off. They pulled it off. They pulled it off because all of us in this room came together. It's not about the city. It's not about anybody individually. It's about the city and all of us working together. And we know that we're going to be able to pull this off because in order to see it, you have to believe it. I believe you have to see it, I think they say. So I'm excited to be up here to just be a part of this project with everyone here tonight. And just to go through some of these points, just real quick, you see that it provides multi-use design that serves a place for everyone to be gathered in the community. Just that beautifies downtown, it promotes the resurgence of everything, you know, that is already happening there with the arts, the music. You know, just imagine walking downtown, going to listen to a live band downtown, and being able to go have a drink, have a cocktail, go to a restaurant with your family. The opportunities are endless with an amphitheater downtown in an area that just less than a year ago was honestly embarrassing to show in the city of Fremont. So how far we've come with just a plan that quick. We know that this will energize the growth of our community. We're hopeful that when we bring businesses in our community, think about that. When I got in office, it was tough to find a place to have a business meeting in town. You know, today, there's several places downtown that we can take people, show them, and be proud of our community. Every single day, we have people coming in and out of our city that are very, very complimentary. How many, just by show of hands, how many people have kids or family and friends that come back to Fremont and say, man, things are changing. This is different. I ain't been here. Well, show your hand. Put your hand up. Look at that. Even the mayor of Greensburg put his hand up. Halfway. The reason why that is isn't because of me or anyone individually, it's because of all of us, right? It's because of everyone in this room, the hard work that we're doing with the new schools and everything else that we have going on here. All right, if we could move on here. So we're going to show a video here. Pay attention to this as we walk in, right off Burchard Avenue, right here. You see the restrooms that are off to your left. As you come around the left, you see the beautiful amphitheater, and look off to your right. There's Front Street. Look at all the green space, the walkability, the accessibility to downtown, the additional parking, multi-use space. The decorative lights. And all of this came together with a group of people that started meeting to plan what that area could look like. Real quick, if you were on that committee and you were part of the design, the ideas, please stand up. I know some of you are here. Let's give these people a round of applause. I would be sitting down because I wasn't in any of those meetings. I just asked everyone to let me know how I was going. So there's just a quick vision of not what this could be, but what I'm saying is what this is gonna be. So the question comes, how much is this? How do we pay for it? So the price tag on this project for what you just saw is around $1.8 million. The city of Fremont was just very successful. We've been very successful in the last few years working with our state representatives. It was Bill Reineke, state senator, now Gary Click, for capital improvement projects. I believe that the city will continue to apply for capital improvement projects. We've been very successful with that. Currently, we have a federal grant that we've applied for. There's other dollars that are out there that we know for park improvements. We know that's not going to cover it all. But what we do know is Rotary has already committed towards raising $250,000 to this project. So on behalf of the city of Fremont, I just want to thank Rotary for initially stepping up and making that initial commitment. I know the county commissioners have already made a commitment. So let's give those guys a round of applause for what they've already done. The remaining of the project, as I said, will be fundraising, grant writing, and things of that nature. And I did not have a conversation purposely with the auditor before tonight. The auditor, Paul Graw here, is the guy who always keeps me in line on what we can and can't do. So I'm trying to warm him up to, I know he's very excited about this project, but he definitely is the guy to help us make sure that we stay in line where we need to be. But I do feel very confident that the city is also going to be able to make some contribution back to the amphitheater in addition to this. And just so you know, just for your, I guess for your some actual information, we already have close to $270,000 just on the purchase of the Jackson Annex and teardown costs. So we're already $250,000 into this project. But we knew, and I spoke to Mr. Hawk about this, we knew before we got this done that we needed to get that building down to get people to buy in to what we wanted to do. So that space needed to be green space. And there's not dirt there today, there's grass there, that's green space. We're ready to go. So the more you pay, the better you feel. Thank you. Roger Coops, come on up. Andy Brown.
All right, thank you very much, Danny. So, you know, we talked a little bit about the different projects that we have going on, and Al mentioned the stuff that's going on with the Park District, and it is really exciting. We have a lot of projects that are coming. There's actually going to be a bike trail coming down through here in Atera, starting construction in June. So we focus on these partnerships that we go through with different people and organizations, and this River Cliff project is something that has been kind of a vision of ours. Jim Bales is here, he's one of my board members, and this has been something that we've talked about for quite a few years now. And we see what that place could be. We actually recently moved our office space down from Countryside Drive next to the dog warden because we saw what the potential was down there. Also being, you know, Park District, we like nature. So the other day I saw a flock of turkeys and a bunch of deer, and you know, the eagles are building a nest across a new nest across the river. So we see the potential that's down there, and a lot of other people have seen it too, as well as Rotary. So it hasn't been that long now that Rotary has started to have their meetings regularly down there at River Cliff in a nice big open space. And what we've started to do is look at the potential of what that space could be. So, you know, we're here in a meeting space that a lot of people use in the community for weddings and special events, fundraising. And we recognize that there are many different ways that people look to do those types of things. And we think that River Cliff can be a niche that is meeting those needs. It's right now currently 135 people that can fit in that space. We think that with these renovations that I'm going to show you, we can increase that capacity. We can bring nature outside, inside. So that's really important to us because when we have weddings and things at our current facilities like the White Star Barn, the Creek Bend Farm Barn, those are very special places. Those are really neat. You get great photos, you get great experiences, and that's what we're kind of looking for. We want to increase people's awareness of nature, bring people from the city into nature, bring nature to them, and just show them what nature can be. So we're really excited about the design of this. Thomas Ford Architects did a great job helping us kind of take what we were talking about, and I don't do that kind of thing. I don't know what I'm talking about as far as architecture, but luckily they do. So they listen to me ramble, and they put it on paper, and they show us exactly what it can be. So some of the things that you can do here, as far as the catering and things like that, you have a kitchen, you do all that stuff. We're not looking to do any of those things. So our goal would be to have a place where catering companies can come from their kitchen, bring their stuff in, set it up. And that's not the business we're looking to get into. We're not trying to step on any toes. We're just trying to fill a little niche that we think we can. So what I'd like to do now is maybe start the video. So this is the current where you would see the parking lot, the Old River Cliff Lodge. The river would be on your right. this is coming up. What you're seeing here on the front, the red door, it's just a architectural thing. It's kind of silly, like we're going to do red door. But that's a vestibule that we popped out so that you could have a space that's not, the cold air is not blowing in all the time, and when people are sitting there. As you walk up, this is actually very accurate. We have a trail system already that's going in, thanks to some donation from Martin Marietta. They've given us a bunch of stone for free, so there's some neat trails. I go running on there all the time during lunch break. But this is the really cool spot. So that's not in existence now, but that's something that we've been talking about, is expanding out, having these, the BW3, the garage doors that are glass that roll up, fireplace, bringing that outdoor nature inside, and having these nano walls. Is that the correct terminology? The folding doors, some type of way to bring whoever's outside inside, and having that whole space be gathering areas. So there's what we talked about with the caterer getting set up over on that side. My office is over here, which is awesome. And that is the existing fireplace. So if you've been out there before, it's a really nice place. I know Hal, you said that you used to have your company picnics out there. We would love to have more events out there, have those things happening. And we feel like with this partnership, and I want to keep coming back to that partnership thing, because as we were sitting here, the mayor and I were talking, and I said I would love to have the bike trail that we just talked about that Rotary helped support, that Rotary Way down into Roger Young, coming down that flood wall, right down into Rivercliff Park, right down into Ballville to the bridge. That's on the bike plan now, currently, the county bike plan. And those are things that we can be looking forward to continue these partnerships. So the improvements that we talked about, the inside improvements, the restrooms, having an outside restroom that people can access when the park is open. Right now we have a porta-john that's accessible. We have tons of fishermen that are down there. There's times where if the Miles Bridge isn't packed, Rivercliff is, and vice versa. They all know where the fish are hitting, when they're hitting. So it's really popular then. We have tons of people that come out and they walk and they run and they take pictures. Eunice Coble's down there taking pictures every day. I see her almost twice a day. And so with those improvements that we're talking about, $1.5 million, with $250,000 already being committed by Rotary, we know that with different grant programs and the way we can reach out to the community, we had a very successful campaign with the Nature Center, the Wilson Nature Center there in Lindsay. That was a similar size project, and we were able to fundraise and make that project happen. We know that we can do this, and it's so exciting, being a Rotarian myself, working with the BBB, being downtown, seeing what that can do. We had people that were just coming down with Dora. They were just walking down, had their beers in their hand. They were checking us out. We had the American Legion guys over there. They were watching things, and it was just so neat to see that everybody can kind of come together. So that's what we plan to do as far as capital-wise. Operationally, we have our $1 mil levy that we are committed to doing all of our maintenance and ranger stuff and everything else. So we know we can take care of everything that needs to be done as far as staffing and that stuff goes. So yeah, I think that's all I have now. Roger.
Thank you, Andy. Oh, wow. Didn't realize there were so many people here tonight. Guess I should have thought twice about taking that public speaking course online. I nailed it that time, didn't I? So I tried that at the Chamber of Commerce thing a couple years ago, and I failed miserably. So, all right, what I'm going to do tonight is take you through the fundraising and how we're going to get there, slides, And our goal, like Cal said, is $500,000 as Rotarians, but obviously we want to help push this thing over the goal line. But we're going to split the $500,000 in 50-50. If we get to $1 million, it's going to be 50-50. You know, that's the way that we're looking to do. Rotary's tracked every single dollar that everyone has donated towards these projects thus far. In other words, if you've been a sponsor for any of the BBB events, we've tracked every dollar. So as we get down to the donor levels that are achieved, for the last 5 years, we've kept track of those. So don't think that if you donated in the past that you're starting from scratch. Our current support for the project has come from a number of different sources. I want to thank the county commissioners. Andy Brown and I went down and kind of asked politely, and they were more than happy to help with some of the COVID money to put it towards the infrastructure of these two projects, because it's not just a beautiful amphitheater, it's not just fixing up, you know, making it look nice inside a building, but there's a lot of infrastructure that goes into it, and they're able to use their COVID dollars to put 250 grand towards these two projects. So I want to say thank you to the commissioners. Obviously, the city of Fremont, this is your project, but man, getting that Jackson Annex down was a huge improvement for Fremont, and working to help get there, Sandusky County Parks. And then our Fremont Rotary members, thank you guys all very much. The amount of collaboration that we've had in order to just get tonight to happen, it's been 5 years in the making, and you know, I feel like we're actually getting some traction and feel as though we're going to make these things happen. So, and then the sponsorships that have stepped up over the last 5 years for the BBB and the community that's come out and shown support. Our first year that we had the Blues, Brews, and Brats, I think we had about 280 people. In the last couple of years we've had, well, that we were allowed to have it, we had over 700 people. So that was pretty phenomenal in itself. Go back to that last slide, Josh. So one of the things I want to mention is our goal of 500,000. We're not starting from scratch tonight. We're already halfway there. So with all the community support that we've had as far as the sponsorship and the community showing up, and basically our biggest driver has been the Blues, Brews, and Brats, that we have made it to a $250,000 already to spread load between these two projects. So. All right, if everyone would now get out their phone and type in www.FremontRotary100.com, put it as your favorite so that you can share this with all your family, friends, relatives, people that you work with. But Josh has put together a beautiful website that has all these videos on it, it has all the pictures on it, that we can help raise awareness. So again, www.FremontRotary100.com. And basically with the website, we're just trying to build excitement for the campaign, educate the community on what it is that we're trying to get accomplished here. And it allows the supporters to donate online as well. So one of the things that we want to do is people can go in and like set it up to where, hey, once a month, take $5 out of my account. Well, guess what? $5, $10, $20, that's all going to add up over time. And if we can get the entire community involved in donating that small amount of money, it's going to add up really quick. I think there's around 30,000 people, and the county commissioner can probably help me, but in the Sandusky County, so if we can get everybody to donate just a little bit, every little bit's going to count, and all of a sudden that number can get up there pretty quick. So let me go through my notes. And really, whether you get $1 or $1,000 or $10,000 towards these projects, if we can get everyone to just donate a little bit, they're going to have buy-in. They're going to have ownership into these projects. So that's really what us as Rotarians are looking to do, is help the community get buy-in to these two projects. So that way, once we facilitate them and make them happen, that we can continue to maintain them, that people use them, and it helps with all the different things that we want to get done in the community. And really, like it's been mentioned before, how are we going to get there? Obviously, $500,000 isn't going to do it. Grants, you know, Rotary International, if we can raise $500,000, there's a good opportunity that we can get another $250,000 or $500,000 from Rotary International. I'm not promising that to you today, but there's opportunities for getting matching funds. But the other things that we're looking into is local grants, state grants, and even the federal grant, like Danny said. I mean, we are trying to, get money from anywhere that we can in order to get these two projects accomplished. And like I said, community participation matters. If we can get a little bit out of everybody, it gets their buy-in. All right, and as we close out, I have two really quick stories about these two projects that are just personal to me and why I have the passion that I do for the two projects. The first golf club that I ever swung was at River Cliff Golf Course. I think it was called Thornwood. Before that, it might have been called something different. But it was probably about when I was 8 years old. And it was nice to see that the county parks took it over eventually, and that they're going to turn it into a really nice space that we can all use. And then the second one is just with downtown. I remember probably around 8 years old when that fire happened, and walking out of the movie theater, it was just like a repeat of every single year asking my parents or whoever I was with, I'm like, why is that beautiful building dilapidated? Why is that building dilapidated? And I had to look at it. I move away, I go to college, then I go into the Marine Corps, then my wife and I moved back to town. We're like, why is that building dilapidated? And it was either at the beginning of the pandemic, it was over a Zoom meeting, that I was president of Rotary. Yeah, it was pandemic, I remember vividly now. But I got invited to be a part of a meeting with the Fremont City Council, and they're like, so what does Rotary care about our amphitheater project? And I'm like, I can't speak for every Rotarian, but I can certainly speak for myself, where the improvement that Fremont will have if we just get rid of that building, whether it's a grass lot, parking lot, or an amphitheater, will do tremendous for our company, or for our business. I used to say company, I'm sorry. Getting buy-in from my employees. So. But who was I talking to? Well, anyways, 15, 20 years ago, before the downtown Fremont Inc. started getting involved, it was kind of scary to walk down Front Street at night. So the improvements that downtown has made has been amazing since the time Keisha and I have moved back home, and we just want to see that keep going forward. And same with the parks. I mean, the two are kind of very close together. And Fremont, trust me, I live out by the Christie Farm. They're busy every week. I know that Union Pet Rental puts up tents every weekend there, but we need more space for people to have nice events in Fremont and in the surrounding areas. So that's what we're here to do, is the two projects, one goal, to help bring Fremont together. And I think that we can really make it happen. So. I have one more note. I want to make sure this. Again, these are not Rotary projects. They're a City of Fremont project and a Sandusky County Parks project. Rotary is just here to help facilitate, raise money, get people excited, do that sort of thing, so we can get the projects accomplished. So, with that being said, Hal said it's a premium bar. There's plenty of hors d'oeuvres still left, so please help yourselves, have some drinks. We have the two projects off to the side. You can ask questions to everybody over there. And thank you so much for coming out. And in the back of those brochures is a little thing to write your credit card number and everything else down on. So thank you again, everyone, for coming out, and have a great evening.
Thank you.